Breaking news. Spurs star center Victor Wembanyama will be sidelined for a few weeks due to a left calf strain, sources told ESPN Shams Charania on Monday. I'm going to read out a few excerpts on this, then I'll comment on this injury. The Spurs are erring on the side of caution and bringing back the franchise cornerstone, who underwent an MRI on Sunday. A source told ESPN that Wembanyama will be reevaluated in 2 to 3 weeks. Listed as questionable early Sunday due to left calf tightness, Wembanyama was ruled out ahead of tip-off for San Antonio's victory against the Sacramento Kings. Obviously, we have seen around this league recently the calf tightness thing is not something you want to take slightly. I meant to say take lightly. Spurs coach Mitch Johnson said Sunday, don't want to push it there. As a Spurs fan, I'd say this is terrible news because this is another hit to the Spurs. Now they've lost, I believe, Dylan Harper for several weeks due to the same type of injury. So I don't know what's the deal with these NBA players getting these calf strain injuries, but these injuries are really shitty in the sense that it takes a while for these guys to come back from them. And I also understand why some of these teams are super cautious now, because I think they have found research of how calf strain injuries, if you don't nurse them properly, can lead to Achilles tendon injuries, which are pretty severe. So this is a crappy situation. I don't expect him to be back anytime soon. Granted, they said he'll be reevaluated in 3 weeks, but the Spurs are super cautious, so I assume he'll probably be gone for 5 to 6 weeks. So that's a huge blow. And also, Dylan Harper has been out for a while with this injury now. I think he got it a week or two ago, and he probably won't be back until December. So it's a huge major blow for the Spurs. One thing I want to say is that as a fan, for me, what's really frustrating is these young players. They strike me as just more injury prone than like the players I grew up watching back in the day. Excuse me. I don't know why that is. Like, I think I have some ideas of why it could be, in the sense that these guys are playing basketball at a much younger age, and in the sense that they're playing a lot of games when they play on these AAU teams, these rec teams, and then they're playing on these other leagues throughout the whole entire year while they're even in high school. And when you look at Victor, you look at these international players, they're playing pro at a young age, at like 13, 14. I believe Luka Doncic was playing professional basketball at like 14 or 15. So they start them real young, and they already have like wear and tear on their bodies. Once they get to the NBA, they have the wear and tear I think a 7 to 10 year player would have had back in the day in the NBA. So it really sucks in that regard. I felt the Spurs were really blessed with Tim Duncan in the sense that not only was he an all-time great player, in my eyes, easily top 5 all-time great, but the man was fucking durable. This guy had ridiculous durability when he started playing his career. Like, I remember first 5-6 years in the league, Duncan was averaging like over 40 minutes a game, and he hardly ever got hurt. During his first 6 years in the league, he only missed 9 games. Victor has already missed a lot of games during his first 2 seasons. So it's insane how Victor is injury prone, and I think it's unfortunate. I'm not going to blame Victor for being injury prone. I just think his body is going to make it like that, where he's always going to get hurt just because his body, the way it's set up. I think he's just so abnormally tall that when you're just as tall as him, these types of freak injuries are just going to continue to happen. I think guys who are above 7'3" historically don't have really good durability in the NBA. If you look up the guys who are taller, above 7'3", like Manute Bol, George Murasan, Rick Smits, like the list goes on with like how these guys all had like these injuries, and they were injury prone a lot. So it sucks. It sucks. Like having to deal with this now as a Spurs fan. I just think that's going to be the norm of Victor, which is why in upcoming seasons you're going to need other guys to step up. You're going to have other established stars. I hope Dylan Harper can become that guy and Stephon Castle. One of those two guys can rise up and become a legit superstar. So we'll see what happens with that. But this is a major blow. Like, it could definitely hurt the Spurs' chances of going to the playoffs now. Like, I think it's going to be very hard in a competitive Western Conference. So this is a major bummer, I have to say. And I don't know how the Spurs are going to overcome this. I don't know. I would be happy if they're still above 500 by the time he comes back from this injury. But I don't have anything else to say, to be honest.